everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is my second video of doing the butterfly locks, and my clients want the bob length, so I'm gonna crochet the ends of her braids, and then just to make sure that when it's time to take her locks down, she can cut the ends or like the middle without actually affecting her own natural hair. So I do have 48 locks count. I'm using color 1B and what else? And yeah, color 1B, and we're doing the bob length. So I do start with one strand. For some of them, I start with 1.5 strands, just because I always end up finishing my locks with 2 strands. So when one strand is done for, I would take 1.5 strands or 2 strands to finish my locks, because I want it to have a nice density towards the ends of my client locks. I want my client locks to be thick towards the ends, not blunt, but just kind of thick and full, and then the top, just just a nice smooth like transition. So for example, if I start with 1 strand, I would finish with 1.5 strands or 2 strands. If I start with 1.5 strand, I would finish with 2 strands. Okay, so basically the strands that I continue wrapping with is always thicker than what I start with. So even if you want to do 2 strands, I'm going to finish with 3 strands, because imagine if you start with 2 strands and then you finish with 1 strand, the ends might have this skinny-ish look to it, and I don't like my locks like that. I only like my full locks like that, but I don't like this one to have that look. So that's the reason why I usually end with thicker or fuller strands, just so my ends can look like how it's looking like in the picture right now. So this style took me about 5 hours and 30 minutes. It might end up taking you less, but also remember that I had to record the video, so I was moving around, touching my camera, pausing and all that stuff. But I mean, I still finished around the time that my website says, like I would not go beyond that time. So I'm always like on track basically. I also do have 48 locks. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I have 48 locks count. I used about 5 packs. You might not even end up using all of them. If you want to have lesser counts, you end up using like 4.5. But if somebody tell you they use 5 packs, I would say get 6 just to be safe, because sometimes you don't know, you might end up needing more and all that stuff. So it took me time to actually know how many packs I need for certain style. And usually I don't know how I do it, but my counts are usually in between 45 to 50, which to me it's not bad. And I'm still able to use 5 packs for the look. As you can see, to still the end, I don't know if I showed you guys, like, because I was just talking, when I got to the ends, I would just like flip it and then just start wrapping all the way up, and I'm going to do that very loosely so it doesn't have the full locks look, because I still want it to be messy but not too messy. So I'm going to wrap it all the way back up and then just rub my palm, and I'm also going to, you're going to see me, you're going to see more of that as I go. So I just want to answer a couple of questions. People have asked what's the difference between distress locks and messy locks and soft locks and butterfly locks. Honestly, we have different names now, and sometimes somebody's distress locks might be somebody else's messy locks or soft locks. So basically, if you watch the video, just if you want a certain look, just do exactly what it's saying, like, because nowadays you need a picture for people to actually know what exactly you want. Like if you come to me and you tell me, oh, I want to get soft locks, I would want to see a picture so I can see if what you want is what I offer, or if that's how I do mine, because again, different stylists, they do theirs differently and people have different names for it. So it's just, to me, don't get confused. Like they all kind of look alike, just like some just have more mess, some has more curves, some are smoother and all that stuff. So I'm guessing you have the soft lock that is kind of smooth, and then you have the messy one that is not too, like, because distressed and messy are like, distress is like too messy, so that's why it's called distress locks. That it's when you see me like For example, for my messy locks, I would wrap like 3-4 times and then take out. But for my distressed locks, I would wrap like 1 time and then take out. So that's how I create more mess for the distressed one and less mess for the messy one. And for the butterfly ones, it's the same as the distressed one, but I make them looser. You might not even be able to tell from the camera, but honestly, again, people just try new things and just get better over time. Try doing it tight and then try doing it loose. For my distress locks, I would do them like in the middle, not too tight and not too loose. But for the butterfly ones, I would do them kind of loose, just so it has this nice buff look to it. So now to the ends, I'm just wrapping all the way up. That's all I do, just wrap back up and do that very loosely, just so it's not like so tight. And because I have a lot of hair left to wrap up, I'm gonna wrap like very, very loose. But as I got to the top, like I would not have that much left to wrap up. And as I wrap up, I will try to like use my thumb again for some of them, but it just depends on if I can see that it's looking different, then I'll use my thumb. But if it's not looking that different, then I would just like wrap up and then rub my palm, and I'll be good to go. So if you have any other questions, please always ask me. I'm always answering the question because I understand. And I think that'll be all for now. Well, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Again, if you wanted to know how I do the hot water, watch the end of my video. I was going to mention this. So for the hot water, I just boil my hot water in a pot or just somewhere. And then I use like the dry towel and I just dipped it in and then use the steam that comes from the towel on my client's hair just to give it some nice flexibility. Like it's not that much of a difference, but if you want to do that, that's fine. But you can either do that or use mousse or use like spritz or just something on your client's hair to give it like the extra glossy or clean look, whatever. Just something nice just to be extra. Again, I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.